What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here. Well, not for another one. First time in 3 months. Player ratings. Tottenham are back in the Premier League, 1-1 against Manchester United. In a game of very much two halves. First half, I thought, second half of the first half, I thought we were brilliant, creating quite a lot of chances. Second half, we just never came out for it. But let's get straight into the player ratings. Let's start off with Hugo Lloris. And Hugo Lloris, we gave a 9. What performance? Yeah, I thought he was absolutely sensational, especially those 3 crucial saves he made, 2 in the first half, and that world-class save from Martial in the second half. That pretty much got us won us the point, really, if it wasn't for those 3 saves. And I thought he showed what De Gea didn't, which was composure with his shot stopping. I thought it was absolutely sensational. Yeah. Really sensational. That save from Martial was one of the best of the season. Well, I was going to say match-winning saves, match-saving saves. Unbelievable. And the first time as well, that save from when Rashford's about to bundle in that free kick. Also tipping that round the post. Really great stuff from Hugo, and she deserves respect. Exactly. Well, hopefully that will shut up the Hugo doubters. Let's move on to Serge Aurier. We gave him a 5. A bit of a frustrating display from him, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought in possession he was quite sloppy. I thought defensively it wasn't too bad. A couple of times he got caught out by Rashford. But if it wasn't Sissoko, he would have been a lot worse. Yeah. But I thought in possession, it could have been a bit better. He got forward a couple of times pretty well, but a lot of the times he was sloppy in possession, taking heavy touches and allowing Man United possession. Yeah, and there was a moment in the first half, well, very early on in the first half, where he should have done a lot better. Had so much space on that right-hand side, and all it needed was a good cross into the box, and he hits the first man. Yeah, he's got to work on his final ball. He really does. And let's move on to Ben Davies. We gave him a 7. I thought it was a very competent display from Ben Davies. He did a lot of good work on that left-hand side. As well, he made a few ditch challenges as well that was really important to us. And I thought he was getting in and amongst it quite a bit. Well, he kept Daniel James in his pocket, kept him very quiet. And I thought he had a really good, competent game there, Ben Davies. I think he'll be happy with this display. Wasn't quite out defensively. And I think on the ball as well, he was he didn't quite get forward in the final third, but I think his passes into the central field and into Spurs players' feet was pretty good with a lot of accuracy. So I think he should be happy with how he played. Eric Dier, gave him a 7. Very unfortunate. If it wasn't for the penalty, we would give him an 8. Maybe even higher. Maybe even higher. Yeah, maybe even higher. But I think that penalty did at the end cost us. And I know it's just a sad fact of being a defender or goalkeeper. If you make a mistake, it's more likely to cost you a goal than if a striker makes a mistake. You know, they get another chance they can score, but a defender doesn't quite work like that. And he's going to be so disappointed watching it back, getting completely done by Pogba. And not only that, he didn't have to bring him down after that as well. And I know it was a bit soft, but he still put his hands all over him, and it was a definite penalty. And it's such a shame because he was such a leader before that. He was having such a good game. He really was commanding the box so well. And I thought he was coming out into wide areas, looking comfortable. He's our best defender, wasn't he? Yeah, and on the ball, he looked pretty comfortable as well, showing his time as midfielder. So it's a shame that penalty really cost us. But at the end of the day, that's what cost us a draw. And he's got to take responsibility for that. And I know he also, the second penalty, it wasn't a penalty, but he did put a challenge in and he didn't get contact. And I know it definitely wasn't a penalty, but he's got to be careful. If he makes contact, that is a penalty. He's got to be careful, yeah. Davinson Sanchez, gave him a 6. Very sloppy at the beginning, but grew into it. Yeah, I agree with that. I think in the first half, he frustrated me a bit with that header to Rashford. What the hell was that? Which nearly cost us a goal, which wasn't for Hugo saving with his legs. Bit of sloppy defending. But I thought, yeah, he grew into the game. And I thought, again, with Sanchez, his best work is off the ball when he's kind of shielding attackers and preventing him going beyond the last defender. But when he's on the ball, he's still a bit shaky. Yeah, he needs to get more confident on the ball, because when we signed him from Ajax, he was like one of those players who came with that reputation of being a good passing centre-back on the ball. But it just hasn't come to fruition yet at Spurs. Let's move on to Harry Winks. We gave him a 7. I thought it was a good display from Harry. Busybody in the middle, doing a lot of kind of tidy work, good passing. As John said on the fan cam, he passed forward a few times. I was happy with Winks. I was really happy with Winks. I thought he kept things really... Unsung hero. Yeah, I thought he kept things ticking over really well in that central midfield. A lot of times where he has 2 or 3 men pressing him and he's able to get a pass out or find him for the free Spurs man. And I thought it was a performance to silence the doubters a bit, and I thought he performed pretty well. I was happy with him. It wasn't just sideways and stuff. It was a bit forwards and he positive. Putting himself about a bit as well. Yeah, I was happy with how he played. All right. Moussa Sissoko, gave him a 7.
With Moussa, I felt that he was anonymous in that first half completely. He had 10 touches, him and Harry Kane. Second half, Man U were completely all over us, and I think that he did a lot of good work. And I think especially in that last 15 minutes, he made so many great challenges and just great moments in the middle that saved us probably.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think in that last 10 minutes, he really stepped up the game and he took some authority. And it wasn't for him, it could have definitely been worse. The way he performed the last 10 minutes, he was bullying the Man United players all over the place. And especially that last hitch tackle against Rashford really saved us conceding a good chance. So I think he was well worth his place in the lineup. And I'd like to see more of that kind of Moussa going forward.
And it's interesting because that's the position that Jose says Moussa can't play.
Yeah, and he played, especially in the second half, I thought he played pretty well there. But I guess it's more down to a lack of options. But I was happy with him.
Erik Lamela, we gave him a 7. Started very well, probably our best player in the first half, but tired, didn't he?
He did tire a bit. I think he was using a lot of energy running around. How many times did we see him in the defensive third making tackles and interceptions? Yeah. And I was under Mourinho's instruction. So I think when you're going at that pace the whole time, also instructed to obviously help the attack, he was going to burn out at some point. And it happened around 70 minutes. But I thought a really good display from Melo. I thought he was, obviously it was a surprise to him in the lineup, but I think...
Extra surprise for us.
Yeah, it really was. It was a big surprise. I didn't even mention him in the previews, but I thought he performed well. I mean, on the ball, he was winning free kicks. He was being a nuisance. He was creating things in the final third. And I thought defensively, he was on point, doing exactly probably what Mourinho asked him to do. So I don't think you can complain. You complain a bit about maybe his final product in the final third. I thought it could have been a bit better, a bit more quality. But on that, I thought it was a good display.
Yeah, I think it's very confident play from Erik Lamela. And if he can put those performances week in, week out, then no one will have problems. Moving on to Heung Min Son, we gave him a 6. I feel for Sonny. I think, like you said in one of our previous videos today, saying that he does a lot of good work defensively because Jose likes to get a lot of juice out of his kind of wingers defensively and attackingly. But I think he did good work defensively, but that kind of suffered going forward for us. So he was in and out of the game, Sonny, though, isn't he?
Yeah, the one chance he had was that header, really pretty much the only chance he had, which was a well-done save by Dier. Really well done, really well, good save, because there was a quality header by Son. But how many times did we see him in dangerous positions? Just not enough. And we're used to seeing Son in and around that left-hand side in the penalty area, but a lot of the time today he was pegged back by Wan-Bissaka going forward and just pegged back defensively, and it shackled him a bit. I felt like he lost energy because he didn't have enough energy to get up and down like other players maybe do. And by the 70th minute, I felt like he was done, and he didn't have that energy to counter anymore, and that kind of dulled our attacking threat a lot.
Yeah, it did indeed. Moving on to Steven Bergwijn, we gave him a 7. Another one who tired quite early on in the second half. I felt that he was doing a lot of good work in the first half, pressing high up the pitch, running at defenders, using his brute strength. He really did. And that goal just epitomised it, you know, taking it past players, sold Harry Maguire, sold Fred. Yeah, the shot was straight at De Gea, but it was a very hard shot, but De Gea should have done better.
Yeah, De Gea should have done better. It was a great, fantastic individual goal, though, despite the mistake by De Gea. I thought Bergwijn did so well to get in that position and getting on goal. He's very unlucky not to get an assist with a pinpoint cross to Son's head, which was a great save by De Gea. Other than that, I thought in the second half we did start to tire. We saw a couple of good moments where he skipped past a few players and looked promising. But again, same problem that Son had, just again starting too far deep and having to use a bit more extra energy than the other players to get in attacking positions, and using all that energy blunted him a bit, and that's why he had to be taken off. You could see him tiring big time by the time he was taken off.
And also, he was playing on the right-hand side of an attack instead of a left-hand side, and I thought he looked comfortable there.
Yeah, showed he can play there for sure. But hopefully, maybe against West Ham, we have a bit more of an attacking approach, and we start with our players a bit further up the pitch than we would against a team like Man United, and we'll see more of him in those positions.
And also, it looked like he got a knock in the first half, so I hope it's got nothing to do with an injury.
Should be all right.
Well, don't speak too soon.
Yeah, true. Never know.
Let's move on. The last of the 11 is Harry Kane. We gave him a 4. Anonymous, really. Nothing much to say about Harry Kane.
Yeah, a couple of times he got the ball from deep and played a few decent spray passes. But other than that, in terms of him being a target man and being able to bring other players into play, he was shackled well by the Man United centre-backs. Didn't really give him any time on the ball. I don't remember him having a chance or a shot all game, I don't think. He couldn't make anything for himself. And I think you could see how deep he was getting by the end of the game to try and win. But I think even at the end of the game, he had moved to an attacking midfield position, and Son had gone on as the last striker. So it just showed where Mourinho's head was at in terms of Harry Kane. It was a difficult display for him. I don't think it wasn't on it. It wasn't his sharpest.
He must have been behind the ball the whole of the second half.
Yeah, a lot of the time. He was tracking back a lot. Again, it's probably another issue that Son and Bergwijn also had. He was tracking back a lot, and it took a lot out of him. Hopefully, with more game time, he'll get the energy back. But he didn't seem the sharpest today.
All right, and let's move on to the subs. Gedson Fernandes, he came on for Erik Lamela.
Yeah.
Well, he came on for Steven Bergwijn, actually, but we gave him a 4. Every time he got the ball, it seemed like he was trying to overplay it. For some reason, he was playing out on the left wing, completely not his position. I mean, he's a central midfielder, and he feels that himself on the right wing is out of position, so never mind the left wing. I felt that, he was just overplaying the ball, overcomplicating things, trying too hard. Just a headless chicken, really. Yeah,
I wasn't very impressed with this cameo, to be honest. I feel for him because, again, it's not his best position, but whenever his passing was sloppy, his dribbling couldn't get past anyone. The only thing he did well was a bit of off-the-ball play. He was able to get back in position well and use his energy to kind of get a few tackles in. But on the ball, when he was actually in more promising positions than Son was pretty much throughout the game, and he wasn't able to do anything with them.
It's very true. Last but not least on the playing staff is Giovani Lo Celso, who came on for Erik Lamela. We gave him a 6.
Yeah, decent. I thought he played all right. He was
not much in it.
No, but he came on an attacking position and then quickly moved out to the right hand side, which I don't feel like is his best position at all. On the wing, cutting inside, I feel like he's definitely better in the centre. And he had a few nice things. I remember one lovely ball into Aurier, a little through ball, which Aurier could have done better with. But other than that, didn't see enough of him probably. But again, he was injured out, just coming back, so give him a bit of time. But I thought he showed a bit of promise in that cameo that he's going to be back at full fitness.
The intent was there, and the effort and desire.
And hopefully see him back in the centre next time.
And last but not least, Jose Mourinho. We're going to give him a 6. How did you feel when the lineup was? About the lineup when you first saw it?
I was a bit bemused when I first saw Dier started centre-back ahead of Toby. Or Toby not playing was the main thing. I actually wouldn't mind if it was Toby and Dier or Toby and Sanchez, but I thought Toby was definitely going to play. Decided obviously not to, which was a bit of a surprise.
Do you think that starting Dier is vindicated now after that performance?
It's a difficult one because he did give away a penalty, but he did play really, really well. It's a tough one. It really is. And he also could have given away a second one, even though it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
Do I think it was vindicated? Because he did play really well. I'll say yes, just because I did think it was a good performance by Eric Dier. And it'll be harsh to mark Mourinho down for that. But at the end of the day, you could argue it cost us.
Would you start those two, that centre-back pairing again? Because I don't think they didn't look good together.
I think
I was worried about their partnership.
I would want Toby in there. I think I want Toby with Dier. I want to see Toby with Dier, see if that partnership would work. Maybe that could be something we'd try out. Because Sanchez still annoys me a bit with his on-the-ball play. Although off the ball, again, he was pretty solid. But I thought Jose, his lineup, I'm not complaining too much about his starting lineup. I think the players he brought in who was surprised did pretty well.
It's the in-game management, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought he went far too negatively in that second half, too early on. I can understand it maybe last 20 minutes, but like for the whole 45 minutes in the second half, try and grind out that 1-0 victory and not show any attacking intent. I think it cost us, and we weren't able to see out the game. Not making 5 substitutes, I can't understand. Not using all the players you have available to you.
What makes no sense is that you could see how tired our players were.
Yeah.
But why not make these 2? Never mind 3, 4. You got 5.
You got 5, and he doesn't make use of all of them. You could argue maybe he thought his game plan was working, but I would argue that the players were tiring. We weren't showing any attacking intent for the whole second half, and the counter-attacking threat had pretty much gone because Son and Bergwijn had completely run themselves into the ground. So we really need someone like, we had Sessegnon and Ndombele both sitting there. Think of the energy Ndombele could have brought down the field and maybe brought a spark, some sort of control.
Tuesday.
And Sessegnon could have brought some pace on the counter, maybe take off Son, or even not bring Sessegnon instead of Gedson or something. But a bit frustrated in that sense. However, I do think his selections in the starting 11 did work. I thought they played well, and I thought we did go 1-0 up, but we're looking all right once we went up in the first half. I just think he just got it a bit wrong in the second half, went too defensive, and I think should have used 5 subs, but I thought he did some things well and some things not as well.
I actually think those last 20 minutes in the first half is probably the best we've played under Jose. Do you not think so?
Probably. Yeah, I can't think of too many better performances that we played better.
Even at the beginning when we were winning games against West Ham and stuff, I still think that chunk of 20 minutes is the best we've played under Jose. So that gives us some sort of positivity to look forward to. We're going to do West Ham on Tuesday?
I think so. I would like to see how West Ham perform the weekend, see how they're looking. But I think it's looking positive for us in terms of how we played, and hopefully if we can get a win under our belt, start some positive momentum going to the last few games, and we can make a really good run for the top 5. But I think West Ham, they're going to be struggling. I think they're going to be in a bit of a relegation battle, and I think we will twist the knife. I'm hoping.
Let's hope so. Well, there you have it. That is the player ratings for the Manchester United game. 1-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Let me know in the comments section below what you think about these ratings. And as always, come on, Spurs.